Hello and welcome back, guys. So let's move on to the next items. So in here I want us to create a page for adding a product. So very simple, add product page. Let's do that. So we already have a table for products, so we're going to use this as reference to see what columns we need and which columns are supposed to be supplied by the user. So for example, here we have a views column. Now this column doesn't need to be added by the user, same as the date, same as the user ID, because this will be added automatically by PHP. Now image can have an empty value, which can be null, because actually we should limit that. So unfortunately image should always be filled in because we depend on these images, so we'll leave that to not allow no values. And let's see, what else do we need? Amount should be added. Quantity, of course, can have a default value if not added, and then description, and then barcode. So some of these are required, but let's see here. If I go to quantity, select this one and select views and select let's select amount as well. Let's put some default values here. So I'm going to click change on these guys. So the default value here, in case nobody adds a value or we forget to add a value, the default should be 1. At least we have one quantity. And with the amount, the default value should be 0. And then views, the default amount should be 0. So save. This will ensure that we don't have problems when we try to save and do not provide the views, the view count, what's the other one, the quantity, etc, etc. Okay, so with that in mind, let's go ahead and create a page. So here we want to create a page. This is index.php, page is equal to home. I want a page called product. Okay, so it's equal to product dash new at the end. So we are using the dash there, the hyphen, because it's URL friendly and we can make it look like 2 words there. So let's click that, and the controller isn't found. So that's okay, because we can go back and add that controller. So I'm going to go to controllers here, right click and new file. So I will copy from the home controller, copy that and put in the untitled. This one should go to product dash new view. So we will create that view, but it would be nice to create it inside a folder called products, like that. That way we leave ourselves organized. So product/product new, but here the controller will be right on the outside. Oops. Product dash new dot PHP. Now that's not product, I forgot an O, and there we go. So let's save. So we have new product, so it shouldn't say controller not found anymore. Okay, so the view not found, so very nice. Let's go to views. In here we have partials, we have auth. What we need now is to right click, new folder, and this one is products. Great. So products, in here we have new file. Save this file, and this one is product dash new dot view dot php. So let's see if we get any complaints. Okay, we get none, so things are working well. But let's copy what we have on the home page, i.e. the header, and what else, the footer as well. So header, footer, so partials, let's change that to footer. Very nice, and let's save. So let's see what we get, and this is what we get. So the header and the footer. So we can put something in between here. Let's see if I go back to home page. Okay, so in between here I want to add a form. So let's see what Bootstrap has to offer. Since we are using Bootstrap, let's make the most of it. So So here I have forms. I'm on form control, and we can look at select buttons as well, select inputs. But for now, let's look at this. So this is an example of text area. We may want to add a larger description to the product, but maybe not, or a comment or something. But let's get this part right here, then we can duplicate it a few times. So I'm going to copy this. But of course we need a div here that will hold everything. So paste down there. Okay. Let's add a few classes to this div. So to start with, let's just add border. That way we can see it. And I like rounded borders, so let's put rounded there as well. We can put some padding of 2 pixels and a margin of 2 as well. That should be enough. But let's see where it is. So refresh, and there it is, just like this. But it's way too big. So let's change our columns here. So do column dash large LG. So when the screen is at maximum, how many columns do I want it to fill up? Now, Bootstrap has 12 columns, as I mentioned before. I don't know if I mentioned in this tutorial. So it has 12 columns. So this div is covering 12 columns. So what I want to do instead is, first of all, let me put container fluid. This will make it go all the way maximum and leave some padding in advance. So maybe this wasn't required. But we'll say when it's large, let it fill 6 columns, which is like half. So let's do this, and you can see it's halfway there. Very good. But maybe let's do 4. Let's see. We don't want it this big anyway. But I want to put it in the center. So I'm just going to say MX auto. So this is margin on the x-axis. Let's put that auto, which means left, both left and right. And there we have it in the center. Let's add a title here before we move any further. I'm going to put an H5 and say add product, like so. Let's see what that's gonna do. There we go. So add product. We do have we can add icons here. So let's add an I tag. Let's put a class of FA burger. Let's see how that looks. Okay, so that isn't a thing at all. Is this how you write burger? Yeah, I think it is. Okay, I'll check what icons are supposed to be here. Let's try briefcase. Let me see if that works. Oh, that works. So I just don't know the name of the burger, but I'll figure it out eventually. So instead of email address here, let's put product name. So just say product name, like that. And we'll do the same thing in the suggest placeholder, product name, like this. All right, so instead of type here of email, we put type text. This is control input. Let me change example form control input to product control input. This is not product, because this label has to be unique in order for it to match these two. So that's what it is. So if I now refresh, that's what I get, product name. Then I can keep moving and add some more. So it's actually product description, not product name. Okay, very good. Let's do, let's add a name for this as well as description. So this name should match the column in the table database. Okay, so now that we are done with this, that's good. But right at the top of this, I should add a form. So inside here, I will add form. Otherwise, we won't be able to submit this. So cut that and go down here. Let's paste that. Let's move everything inward. Let's make sure the method is equal to post. That's good. And now I can duplicate this a couple of times. So first I want the quantity and I want quantity and price, but I can, let's look at input group here, forms input group. I can use this instead, this type, because quantity is a small thing, same as amount. I don't need the whole width of the thing to display that. So I think this is the one right here. So I'll copy this one that has username and server. So where is that? Username, server. This one right here, this group. So I'll copy that one and I will put it right here. Let's tab in. Okay, cool. And let me put a break tag here. We can put buttons in advance. So buttons, save, and then there's console as well. Yeah, so let's add some classes here, of course. Obvious button is needed. Button primary. Save should have a red button, so danger. And then save should float to the end. So float end to the other side. This one remains as it is. What else? The cancel button should not be a submit button, so let's change its type to button. That way when we click it, it doesn't submit, but this one will submit, the save button. And then let's change things here. The at becomes price, like this. So we have this span input text. Let's put one of these at the beginning. That way we can have two labels here. And instead of price, this one is quantity. So I'll do quantity like this. Okay, so these guys, instead of text, they're supposed to be number, just like this one, number. Instead of username here, we have quantity. And this other one has price as placeholder. The label is for accessibility, so you can just copy this here. For blind people or partially blind, they can have the machine read this information to them so they know exactly where they are on your form. Okay, so let's refresh, and there we go. So we have quantity, quantity, price, price. We need to have some default values here. Let me add name for each, and the name here, one of these is, oh wait, that can't be right. It's QTY and then amount. Okay, very good. QTY, and the other one, instead of price, it's amount. So let's change price to amount. Same here, so that we are consistent. And then a value of 0. So quantity should have a value of 1 to begin with. And this one should have a value of 0.00. Now, because we wanted to move in decimal places when it comes to the amount, we can just tell it to step using 0.01 or 0.5, something like this. If you don't have ones in your country, you can put 0.5, like in my country. 0.01 is not really a valid value, but 0.05 is. Okay, so let's save that, come back here and refresh. and this is what we get. So if I click here, I move in 5s like this. I can scroll here, but this one moves without decimals, and that's how it is. Okay, very good, very good. So now that we have quantity and amount, we need barcode as well. So I'll put barcode here next. So let's see if I can move faster. These ones are not required, so we are good. Image may be required, so we need image and we need barcode. So let me do barcode here by duplicating the description. So let me change every instant of product here to barcode, and barcode, capital B there, and here we write barcode. Okay, type text, that's fine. Placeholder, barcode. Product barcode. Very good. And then let's add an image thingy at the end here. So refresh, and there we go. So the barcode should be optional, so we don't want to make this compulsory, because we can have the machine generate an auto barcode if the user is lazy. So let's leave it at, oopsie, it's supposed to say optional, like this. Optional, or maybe it won't be too visible there. We can just put it here instead and put it inside a small tag. That way it looks smaller than the rest, and we can go a step further by putting text muted. Alright, so let's add the image one. If we go to form control, there's file input, and let's get the first one here. I'll copy that, and let's come down here to just before the break tag here, paste, and move that. So the label is product image, like this one, and type is file, and name is image. Name image. Form file, that's okay. Now let me increase the padding here to 4, so P4 inside here, and I know now the image here is hamburger, so burger, but we put ham at the beginning, and I can change the text to a different color, for example by putting class and saying text primary, that way it's blue. And what else? I think that does it. So let's come back here and refresh, and this is what we get. So product description, barcode, quantity, amount, and we can click here to add an image as well. Okay, so this is how we will be adding products to our system. All right, I'll see you in the next video.